North Carolina prepper here. I wanted to talk to you about the uses of a tactical tablet or a tactical cell phone, or the tactical uses of such. Um, there's a lot of apps out there that can be used with or without network access. This is an HP touchpad. Oops, let me see if I can get that in there. Lost my camera. I'll touch my monitor off. Can't see what I'm doing. There we go. It's an HP touchpad with the WebOS. I went ahead and modified it, what they call rooting, and I went ahead and put the Android operating system on there because that's my personal choice. But I want to talk about these tablets or cell phones. So this would be on the tactical tablet or tactical cell phone. Um, Let me start off with the main use of this in a present day technological society without interruption of services or anything. I use Eagle Eyes. That just happens to go to my video system. I have the demo site set up here, and if you were to click it, it will actually log into this. Now, I can do this with mine on a separate Wi-Fi router I have. I just happen to go into the internet. But I turn on the Wi-Fi for a lot of apps, so I can access my central Wi-Fi server that's all EMP protected, put away, and I can just pull the stuff out with an extra router and an extra thing and see it. These are all live pictures. If you click it, there's sound. That's a dark room. I usually don't do it that way, but there's a door that's live. There's just nothing going on right now or anybody doing anything. But these are security cameras for that, and it includes sound and all kinds of good stuff. This is basically the first thing I want to show you, using it to Wi-Fi into my security system. So let's get back out of that. That's called Eagle Eyes, but every DVR or digital video manufacturer has a Wi-Fi push that you can push to a Wi-Fi tablet or a remote viewer or whatever. Another big thing on here that's important to have that would be off-grid, and these are all free apps, by the way. There's countless numbers of e-bucks. So it loads. This is off my internal disk in here, my internal thing. So there's just a lot of things. I'm not going to go into the directories because some of these things are kind of private. But it's alternate energy, canning, construction, defense, food, gardening, all my gun manuals, health, hygiene, all kinds of historical documents, whatever you need. Another thing is there's disaster and survival labs. This is called the Disaster Survival Guide, which, let me lift this up here. I don't think you can see any of it. The lighting is really bad for this, but basically the app goes into be prepared, why be prepared, and how to be prepared. All these can run on an Android smartphone, and I'm sure the iPhone has the same thing. Another one that requires internet access is called Scanner Radio. And if you load it up, you can listen to the Chicago police. There's all those things. There's all kinds of different places you can listen to. North Carolina, whatever's local to you. Another app would be the Army Soldiers Blue Book. And what this does is basically it's the beginning training to make sure you're good with the rifle and all the things a beginning soldier needs to know, so that's good there. Another app is, general first aid. It has all kinds of first aid things you need to know. And then it is ad supported. Oh crap. And it tells you if there's heart attacks, first aid book online, videos, and everything you can need in there. So that's an app you need. Knot guide. Everybody needs to know how to tie knots. I mean, everybody can tie the standard, shoelace knot. But there's binding knots, not binding knots, climbing knots, decorative knots, fishing knots. All kinds of knots. And it goes in there. It lists them, has pictures on how to do it. There's no videos in this, but it still shows how to do all the knots. It's a very, very handy thing to have. And that doesn't require internet access. The U.S. Army Survival Guide, that's got the complete survival guide, and it doesn't require internet access. It's stored on your device. Another one's called Backtrack. It's a very basic GPS program, and it brings you back to your location. Like, let's say you have this on your phone and you're going to go out hiking. You can put this on your car and say, this is where my car's at. And you can always get back to that point or the camp you're at if you're camping or whatever. Boski or whatever. This is pretty neat. It doesn't really do me any good, but it might do you good. It lists all kinds of wild edibles in your area. This does require internet access, which makes it kind of slow because we're loading Google Maps right now. Let's go through it. Let's just say oranges. There's nothing really local in North Carolina, but if it works. I think I crashed it. Let me go ahead and let it load this time. Okay. So, let's zoom out. Here's something. Let's navigate to it. Oh, it's wild blackberries, and it gives you the directions of where they're at and the GPS location. And sometimes it shows a picture of it, of the local area. Like I said, it doesn't have a lot of data or a lot of points that you can see here. This is the eastern coast. There's a lot out in California where all the hippies hang out, but not so much for us. As it's a new app, and as it gets on, I'm sure it'll get better with more people doing it and tagging things. Swiss Army Knife has a bunch of different applications in it. Flashlight, ruler, tea timer, stopwatch, calculator, magnifying glass. That's really good because sometimes I don't have my glasses with me, and I need to see things. Usually I just take my camera phone and zoom in, but this will do that too. The ruler is actually, you have to calibrate it to your tablet, and if you calibrate here, you can see that the 1 inch is actually an inch, which you can't see with this ruler, but that's the way that is. Another great app is the Survival Podcast. That's really neat. It has podcasts, videos, Twitter, which I don't use, their forum posts, everything. It's ad supported. That requires internet. And again, all these are free. And this is the FEMA preparedness manual. They put out a book years ago, but they decided to go digital now because it's easier for them and cheaper. So here's all what to do in emergency and everything. The FEMA app is an excellent app. The daily survival tip. It doesn't work on my tablet, but I installed it anyway. It probably works on the phone, but I didn't use it. But it hold on a second. There we go. It doesn't work well for me. It might work on yours. Basically, it's general survival tips from the internet every day, and it'll probably crash here when I get out of it. Yeah. Oh, there it was. Force close. A ballistics calculator is really neat. When we go to the range, you can put in all kinds of things for your bullet, your drag, your velocity, the sight height, the target, the wind speed, and it'll tell you, set your windage or mine just went blank. The windage or the other one, and it'll tell you where to do it. Generally, you can hit your target right off the first shot. So if you're hunting a deer and it's 300 yards away, you have this bullet with this coefficient, and you got this much wind. It'll say, turn your scope this many notches, and it'll pretty much be dead on where you want it to be. That's an excellent app. Eagle Eyes. Orbot is part of the Tor network. that if you want privacy while browsing, say you're going to Starbucks or any one of the many free wireless spots, you can browse privately with this. It's basically it's a Tor network, TOR, for your phone or your tablet. That's really pretty much it. There are many more apps you could just download and look at online. I would suggest going to the Google Market and typing "shit at the fan" or WROL or survival or preparedness, and there's tons of apps. You're gonna have to try and see what works for you. I don't have all these on my phone. I have but just GPS and things like that. Um, but yeah, it's really good. You know, edibles, and there's ham radio apps, and there's pretty much all kinds of apps. I really tell you, I really suggest that you look into such things. The survival apps are really good. I mean, these things are more than just play things or work things. They can be very useful tools. In a shit hit the fan scenario, I can turn on my Wi-Fi with this and get files from my network, my house, remote video cam feeds. Basically, right now, I set this thing by my bed and I watch Netflix on it. Or I have another button I hit over here. I'll bring up the eagle eyes and I'll look at my cameras. Anytime I hear a noise or anything, cameras are on. Take a look. Night vision cameras are great. Originally I had some problems because I had them mounted inside looking out the windows, and my windows are IR reflective, so I just saw a big white glow instead of actually going outside. To remedy that was just my outside lights. I put up heat lamps outside, infrared heat lamps, and they're about 15 watts, and they make everything glow like daylight outside. Okay, well, this is North Carolina Prepper. Please rate, subscribe, and pass on the information to friends and tell them to subscribe to me. And have a great day. North Carolina Prepper signing out.